Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for your time and interest in watching today's video. My name is Hugo Mondragon. I am currently a college student at Santa Ana College. I am doing their fire program and I am more than halfway done with their process and going into their fire academy. So hopefully this time of next year I'll be in their fire academy and I'll be moving on from there. What we will be discussing in this video will be the two most common residential home smoke alarms. Now, there are two main types, which are the photoelectronic and the ionization alarms. We'll get into more depth about both of them a little later, but I do want to start off with saying that almost 3 out of 5 home fire deaths were caused by fires with properties with no smoke alarms or smoke alarms that had battery problems or malfunctioning. The death rate per 1,000 home structure fires is 55% lower in homes with smoke alarms than in homes with no alarms or alarms that fail to operate. So it's not just important enough to have a decent quality smoke alarm that's going to be reliable, but it's also important to have it in the right location and to make sure that it's not going to malfunction with the batteries. So how many people know today what kind of smoke alarms they currently have in their home? Do you either have a photoelectronic or an ionization? And if you don't know, well, you'll be able to find out because you can check on most smoke alarms, there'll be a lowercase p that signifying that it's photoelectronic or a lowercase I notifying you that it's an ionization smoke alarm. So let's talk more about the photoelectronic smoke alarm. Now this alarm is going to be a bit pricier than the ionization alarm, but it is a better bang for your buck. And the reason why is because this alarm is more responsive to smoldering fires and dense smoke. So in the beginning stage of most fires, it's going to be letting off a lot of smoke. So the thing where this alarm really shines is that it's going to notify the occupants in the building a lot faster than an ionization alarm that there is smoke occurring inside of the home. Another pro of this one is that it's less likely to go off from cooking. So you don't have to be fiddling with the alarm as much as far as when it goes off when you're cooking. So that's another plus of having this alarm. And this alarm will also be distinguished by having a lower P in the back. And in this case, I do actually have these 2-in-1 smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. So what's really neat about this one, it does give you a lot of handy information. So we'll start with the battery for this one. So this one, if you see on the top right corner, it says it does not need a battery replacement. So what that does tell you is that these are designed to last for 10 years and you'll want to be replacing these after 10 years because you can't replace the battery. So yeah, you'll definitely replace these after the 10-year mark. And the very nice thing about this, it has neat information in the back telling you how many smoke alarms you should need. We'll get into more depth about that later. And it also does give you some screws so you can install those as well. And also more information about the difference of the photoelectronic and the ionization sensors. Now the other smoke alarm is the ionization smoke alarm. And this alarm is going to be more responsive to fast flaming fires with little visible smoke. Now there is a big drastic difference in terms of the notification of when the alarms are set off in both circumstances. So in the same fire, the photoelectronic is going to notify the occupants a lot sooner than the ionization alarm because the ionization isn't sensitive to the smoke. It doesn't work like the photoelectronic. So for your home, you're better off equipping your house with photoelectronic smoke alarms just because they are going to be more responsive and it's going to give you that extra time to get out of the situation if it's out of hand, and you'll need the fire department to help you out and take on from there. Now we will discuss about proper smoke alarm installation. The minimum requirements are that there needs to be a smoke alarm, one on each floor. So if you live in a 2-story home, you'll need 2 alarms for each level. you also do need a smoke alarm inside every bedroom and outside every bedroom. And if you do have a hallway, you need to have a second smoke alarm if it's longer than 21 feet. Now, if you have a hallway with 3 bedrooms and there is one smoke alarm in that hallway, it's okay to have that one smoke alarm for the 3 bedrooms as long as the bedrooms are within the 21 feet range of that single smoke alarm. If you want to go above and beyond, it is recommended to have a fire extinguisher, one for each level, and for the garage as well. I do have one right here for our 2 bedroom apartment, and we do have a second additional one inside of our garage. Now, these are very handy for any fires in their beginning stages where you can simply just pull the pin and extinguish it yourself, preventing the fire from growing. But if it is out of hands, then the fire department will need to step in and handle the situation. Now, when installing an alarm, you should install the alarms no closer than 4 inches from any wall or corner. And the reason so is because there is dead air space in most corners and on the certain spots of the walls. And what dead space is unventilated space where if a smoke alarm is installed there, the smoke won't be able to go into that space because there is an air pocket, and the smoke will travel into the direction of least resistance, so it won't be able to reach the smoke alarm if installed in a corner. So it's very important to know that. And also for peaked roof installations, those have to be placed within 36 inches from the peak, but no closer than 4 inches as far as peaked roofs. Now, in mobile homes, a smoke alarm should be installed in every room besides the bedroom. So this does include the kitchen. You should have a photoelectronic smoke alarm inside of the kitchen, not the ionization. And when you install the alarms, they should be installed on the inside walls, not on the ceiling. And for homes, do not install alarms within 36 inches of any air vents or fans. And that's just simply because if on or activated, it will push away the smoke from reaching the alarm. All right, now you know a little bit more information about photoelectronic and ionization smoke alarms and their importance of having them in your homes, and also how important it is to install them in their correct and best locations. So if you don't have any in your home today, you better save yourself a whole lot of money down the road and your property, and do yourself the favor now of just going down to your local store and getting some photoelectronic smoke alarms and get those in your home as soon as possible. All right, thank you everyone again for your time and watching this video, and never forget that if you can dream it, you can be it. Have a great day.